Hello friends, and welcome to a brand new camera comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S23 FE against the A54. Right now we are recording at 4K at 30 frames per second. Tell me in the comment section below which one do you think has better colors and which one has a better audio.
Let's start like we usually do, by checking out some pictures taken with the front cameras. In this first example, it's easy to see that the S23 FE is way better. The details on my face and hair stand out, while the A54 doesn't come close. Especially, my hair looks quite blurry on the A54. In the next example, the A54 does a bit better by keeping my hair and face in focus, but it still doesn't match the depth of the S23 FE. In terms of color accuracy, neither of them manages to capture my original skin color accurately. Now, moving on to the main cameras, and before we move on, just a quick reminder that all the daylight pictures are taken using the auto mode with Scene Optimizer turned on. With these lenses, the gap between them isn't as large as earlier. The S23 FE slightly captures the sky's appearance better, but the A54 is also quite close behind. The main camera on the more affordable A54 is impressive. It's so good that in situations like this, it's on par with the one in the S23 FE. Similar to the previous example, the FE has a slightly livelier sky, but apart from that, they perform equally. There are a few distinctions however. For instance, here the S23 FE has a cooler tone, whereas the A54 boasts a warmer hue. Moreover, when we zoom in, it's evident that the FE is slightly over-sharpened, while the more affordable A54 appears smoother. Personal preference certainly comes into play in such cases. The S23 FE takes a slight lead in terms of vibrancy and enhancing visibility in darker areas, as seen in this example. The A54 performs decently, but it falls short in comparison to the processing capabilities of the FE. In general, the A54 performs well with its main camera, but the S23 holds a slight edge, even though the gap isn't substantial. There are some little improvements here and there, but as far as daylight, the A54 is just fine. Both phones also come with ultra-wide cameras, and in this occasion, the contrast is more noticeable, favoring the S23 FE. The A54's image appears somewhat faded, whereas the FE strikes a pleasant color balance. On the flip side, the A54 performs better in capturing darker areas, like the trees in this case. They are more visible, although there's a more pronounced sun flare. The S23, on the other hand, manages brightness well, with the lights in check. Similar to its performance with the main camera, the S23 FE produces a livelier sky. However, while I appreciate vibrant pictures, there are instances when it can be a bit overwhelming. The A54's sky isn't as vivid, but in this case, I actually prefer its subtler approach over the FE's. In the following scene, the latter performs significantly better. The buildings are vibrant, the grass maintains a good balance, and the sky displays a pleasing tone. The A54 holds its own, yet, as I mentioned before, the S23 FE's superior processing power becomes evident. The S23 FE has also a dedicated 3x telephoto sensor, while the A54 relies entirely on digital zoom. When it comes to more distant objects, this distinction isn't particularly evident, as even the A54 manages to keep up well. When we zoom in on specific objects, the contrast becomes clear. The S23 FE is notably sharper and offers better quality, with accurate colors. In comparison, the A54 starts to lose sharpness, and the entire image appears darker. Having a telephoto sensor could have greatly benefited the A54, yet given its price, this absence isn't a major concern. On the other hand, the FE continues to do extremely well. The Galaxy A54 features a third camera, which is a macro lens, and it allows us to take pictures very close to the object. To put it in perspective, this is as close as I could focus using the main camera on the S23 FE for comparison. In my view, this isn't exactly a win for the A54, as the telephoto camera on the S23 FE can deliver even superior results. As you can see, the image from the S23 FE is considerably sharper when compared to the A54's macro shot. When it comes to taking portraits, we can clearly see that the S23 FE is doing a much better job with my face and my hair. On the A54, neither my face nor my hair is preserved. While the S23 FE doesn't do that good of a job with skin colors, it is miles ahead from what the A54 is offering. When we crop in, we can see that the S23 FE preserved most of my facial details while my face is very blurry on the A54. To my surprise, however, the latter is doing better when it comes to edge detection. When recording with their main cameras, I noted that the S23 FE has better and more realistic colors than the A54. The dynamic range is also better and the sky is more pronounced. The greenery is also better defined and the stabilization is slightly better on the newer device. With the ultra-wide cameras, the stabilization on the A54 is nowhere near as good as on the S23 FE. In terms of colors, the S23 FE has a better representation just like with the main cameras. At 3x, the S23 FE uses its telephoto sensor while the A54 relies on digital zoom. The new FE is of course sharper, and if we look closely, the leaves have more depth. The A54, however, isn't bad at all, even though the video overall doesn't look that pleasing. Moving to low light, it is worth noting that every picture from now on is taken with night mode activated. In this initial case, there were numerous light sources for the front cameras, which is why both phones managed to maintain the sharpness of my face. However, the S23 FE is the only one that almost accurately captures my appearance as it is in real life, whereas the A54 made my skin color appear pale. When light sources are limited, both devices experience a decline in quality. This is particularly noticeable on the more affordable A54, where my face loses many details and my hair becomes blurry. The S23 FE is doing a better job in this aspect. Similar to daytime, both the A54 and S23 FE shine with their main cameras in low light. They efficiently capture light sources and maintain accurate colors in the pictures. There were cases, such as this one, where I couldn't detect any difference at all, and I was pleasantly surprised by the A54's performance. At times, the S23 FE truly showcased its capabilities by delivering superior and clearer images. In this example, the A54's picture is slightly brighter, but it allowed the reflections of the lights to enter the frame. Interestingly, photos captured with the S23 FE show sharpness all over, from corner to corner, whereas those from the A54 appear softer at the edges. Additionally, the FE brings out details in really dark areas, as seen with the trees behind the buildings. The gap widens in favor of the S23 FE when we switch to the ultra-wide cameras. While brighter doesn't always associate to better, in this instance, it holds true, as the FE's image retains sharpness while the A54 shows considerable noise. The issue of distracting streetlights persists on the A54, as seen with their main cameras. Regarding colors, they remain quite similar between the two devices. When it comes to distant objects, the S23 FE appears to maintain better control over the lights, while the A54 presents them in a slightly messy style. Still, I want to give credit to the A54 for largely preserving colors as accurately as the S23 FE. In summary, the ultra-wide camera of the S23 FE is evidently superior in most shots, although the device itself costs double the price of the A54. The primary differences lie in terms of brightness and sharpness. At 3x zoom, the S23 FE naturally presents significantly more detail. The bird on the glass and even the top portions are noticeably sharper on the FE, while the A54 struggles to match the capabilities of its pricier counterpart. In this next case, perhaps, you can see the difference clearly. The S23 FE maintains a well-balanced image, whereas the A54 appears soft and blurry. While the A54 managed to deliver comparable portrait performance in daylight, it's evident that the FE holds an advantage in low light. On the FE, my face and dress appear sharper, while the A54 falls back into its softer rendering. So, what's your take? Who's the winner? Personally, I lean towards the S23 FE, although the A54 managed to keep up very well in various shots, particularly with the main camera. However, the S23 FE shines in terms of zoom and ultra-wide cameras. If you found this video enjoyable, giving it a thumbs up would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching, and if you're interested in more content like this, please think about subscribing to my channel.